Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And I guess all you RIP t-shirt people, all you teddy bear and balloon and candlelight vigil people, have yet another knucklehead you can stand out on the corner for and pray, oh God, why did it happen? Why did it happen? When will it end? New Orleans Pelicans guard Bryce Dejean Jones was shot and killed on Saturday. Apparently, Mr. in Dallas, apparently, according to police, Mr. Jones kicked in the door of somebody's apartment about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was, according to sources, an estranged individual, which probably means ex-girlfriend or something like that. Problem was, he kicked in the wrong door. And when he kicked in the door, he was met with a bullet coming at him from the other side of that door. Mr. Jones retreated, collapsed in the hallway or somewhere near the property, and died later on as a result of the gunshot wound. You know, if it was the Riddler, I guess he'd say, riddle me this: how can you have everything and nothing at the same time? Because I don't understand these 90s babies. I don't understand these types of black men. I don't understand how you can get everything that you want out of life, and when you get it, you still act a damn fool. I just don't get it. I don't get how you weren't even drafted by the NBA. The NBA saw fit to cut you a 3-year deal at the league minimum. What is the league minimum? About $250,000 a year. You know, so you figure what, 285, you know, you make a little bit in 3 years, you're making about $1 million, a little under $1 million. You got all the groupies that you could possibly want. You're on the road, you're traveling, you're doing what you profess that you love to do. And you cannot squash your nigger behavior. You cannot squash your nigger ambition. I know what a lot of you are going to say. How dare you talk about this individual the way that you are talking about him? How dare you make light of the fact that he got shot because he kicked in the door of an ex-girlfriend that apparently he had intended to do harm to. He kicked in the wrong door and a bullet said hello, as opposed to the person that you were going to attack and jump on. How dare you? I'm expecting somebody in the comments section to say, I knew him. You don't know what you're talking about. STFU, SMH, WXYZ, whatever the heck it is you're typing out. If you got to know him like I knew him, you wouldn't be talking about him like that. So I'm expecting to hear from clowns like that who defend clowns like this. Basketball season is still on. You know, we're into the playoffs, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know where the Pelicans stand by way of playoffs or anything like that, but basketball season's still on. And what you're telling me is basically, since you are an employee of the NBA, shouldn't you be at your job? You know, if you didn't make the playoffs, if you got bounced out, you know, but shouldn't you be doing something to prepare for next season, working on your game or whatever it is? You got plenty to do that you could have focused on. And you're telling me you chose to focus on one female, if it in fact was an ex-girlfriend or a current girlfriend or something like that. You're so focused on that you are willing to throw your entire basketball career down the toilet so you could kick in the door of an ex-girlfriend and beat her up or strangle her or kill her or do whatever it is. I can't wait to hear how some of you black people are going to blame the police. I can't wait until you hear his mama say, well, it wasn't my baby, wasn't my son. I can't wait until somebody makes up some kind of an excuse for this knucklehead. Now, of course, the NBA had to do some type of damage control to try to put some type of positive spin on this. So they released a statement saying, it is with deep sadness that the Pelicans organization acknowledges the sudden passing of Bryce Dejean Jones. We are devastated at the loss of this young man's life who had such a promising future ahead of him. Our thoughts and prayers are with Bryce's family during this difficult time. And that statement, realistically, truthfully, and honestly, should have read, The National Basketball Association would like to express its anger and disappointment by the irresponsible and irreprehensible conduct of Bryce Dejean Jones. We expect the actions and conduct of NBA staff, players, and employees to reflect the league in a positive and productive manner. Unfortunately, there are some that refuse to take advantage of the valuable opportunities offered by our league in favor of criminal conduct, reckless, and dangerous behavior. The National Basketball Association will not tolerate criminal conduct by the players, staff, and employees representing our organization. Our prayers and sympathies are with the Bryce family, as we sincerely hope the actions displayed by Bryce Dejean Jones are not a reflection of his friends and or family. Which statement do you think would have had a better and longer lasting impact on college players coming up, high school, middle school players who want to get to the NBA? What the NBA would have done, had they used my statement, would have been to set a precedent and lay down some rules. We ain't gonna tolerate your nigger shit when you come into this league. I don't care what hood, what ghetto, wherever it was that you came from. You go squash that nigger shit, and you're going to represent this league in a positive and productive manner. You're going to take classes that you didn't take when you were in college, because this clown went through 3 different schools before he wound up at Iowa State, and you can best believe he didn't pick up book 1, didn't take test 1. So you're going to do something to make up for being so stupid in college. You're going to learn how to conduct yourself like a grown man. I know your daddy wasn't there, so we're going to have to play daddy for you, okay? Because the way you black women are raising these boys is when they get angry, they react emotionally, and they run out and do stupid emotional things. So we've got to undo a lot of that behavior. We've got to correct a lot of the behavior that you think is normal, because hood shit, nigga shit ain't normal. And you're not going to play in this league if you want to continue to participate in nigga shit. Playing sports for a living is a privilege. It is not a right. And too many black athletes with desires and dreams of making it to professional sports thinks that sports owes them a living, and it doesn't owe you anything. You owe yourself, more or less. You owe yourself better. You owe yourself better conduct. You owe yourself better friends, better social circles, better things to do than kick in the door of ex-girlfriends at 3 o'clock in the morning. See, basically what the NBA did was excused that part of his behavior. You didn't address that part of his behavior. So the way your statement read was as if somebody walked up on this boy and just shot him in cold blood. And that wasn't the case. He was out there doing nigga shit. And you need to address that. And you need to send a signal and a message to all the ones coming up behind this clown that we're not going to tolerate that. If you're going to, and you know what I'm really beginning to think? Because black people, you're always yelling and screaming about reparations. You owe us. Okay, well, first of all, white people ain't never going to give you reparations for nothing, all right? Black people spend more than enough money in this country to reparate themselves, first of all. But second of all, a lot of your reparations have come through sports, for a lot of you. And when you really think about it, if you look at the actions and the conduct at a lot of players in the NBA and the NFL, if they weren't being drafted as football and basketball players, they'd be out robbing folks, breaking in houses and kicking down doors to do bodily harm to women. You didn't have these kind of problems when the league was all white. You just didn't. Okay, now that the league is mostly black, it is a reflection of all of the dysfunction that goes on in our neighborhoods on a daily basis. And it is a sad testament to the fact that black people can't take that hood out of them. You can take them out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of them, no matter what type of opportunities you offer them. Now, for a lot of you black people who are of the "well, white people do it too" think, Johnny Manziel is your savior. You got to figure it took about 30, 40, almost 50 years to come up with a ghetto white boy that can't stay out of trouble. So Johnny Manziel might as well be Jesus to a lot of you guys, so black people could point at him He said, well, white people do it too. White people do it too. Charles Barkley stated recently that the NBA, the players, are the worst that they've ever been in the history of the sport. The worst. They suck, basically. By virtue of people who want to go see sports and want to pay to go be entertained, by default, they are there, but they absolutely suck. They suck on the court, and by the actions, the stupid actions of this individual, it's quite clear that they suck off the court as well. This is KTM in the Wake Up Report, saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.